All right. We have some more formulas.
Yeah. Love formulas.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take a product, like sine of u times sine of v, and we're going to have a formula that we can change it into a sum, which is going to be 1/2 cosine of u minus v minus cosine of u plus v. Cosine of u times cosine of v equals 1/2 cosine of u minus v plus cosine of u plus v sine of u cosine of v equals 1/2 of sine of u plus v plus sine of
Did
u
you say
minus v.
cosine of u minus?
Yeah, you said cosine and you.
It's sine. Cosine of u sine of v equals 1/2 sine of u plus v minus sine of u minus v.
Wouldn't that be the same thing?
I'm gonna look that up. I think that u is bigger. I think u has to be the biggest, but I'm gonna.
Ugh.
And let's just work it out and see. Probably what I'm going to tell you probably what's going to happen is the signs are going to change on these two. This will end up being negative and this will end up being positive, and then it will be the same.
Wait, which one will?
The last two, it's sine u cosine v, and it's cosine u sine v, and it makes sense that they should be the same. But u and v are different numbers, and I'm going to say that u is bigger than v. But I think it would work either way.
What about tangent?
What?
What about tangent?
This is what we have. Tangent is what? Sine over cosine. So if it was tangent of these, you could find the sine, find the cosine, and do that. Okay, example 1. find all solutions of cosine squared x equals sine squared of x over 2 in the interval. From 0 to 2 pi.
Can you?
So what do you think? Well, yesterday, didn't we have half angle formulas? All right, so this is cosine squared of x equals sine of x over 2 quantity squared. Does that mean the same thing?
Yes.
Yes. So from yesterday's formulas, the cosine of u over 2 is plus or I'm sorry, the sine of u over 2 is plus or minus 1 minus cosine u, in this case x, over 2. And then we have to square it from this.
This is going on.
Yes.
How about you for
Me?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Do the next step.
It was from the product. It was from the
Some sort of party, all of a sudden you start this small talk and walk out.
My grandmother used to do that. Why not?
These phones.
Because she loves
No. My grandmother in Florida. Different grandmother.
What's next?
She drives a big van.
You know what I'm saying now? Why is it no longer positive? Oh, it's for attention.
I don't know. Actually, you did have numbers. I know if it was positive or negative, but I have no idea.
What do you guys do next?
You take away the plus or minus, and you take off the square root.
Okay, so do that.
So is that like something yesterday?
You take away the plus or minus and the square root, and you're left with just the problem under those two.
Why do you do that?
Because yeah, the square and the square root cancel.
So it's just cosine squared x.
Okay. See the square root symbol, right? Yep. And the plus or minus. Those two things are canceled out, and you're left with cosine squared of x equals 1 minus cosine of x over 2.
Okay, then you multiply both sides by the
Right
now.
I don't know. That's as far as I know. She said the next step, I did the next step.
That trend to continue is about 6 more weeks.
Cosine, what should you do next?
Beyond the removing the square root and the plus or minus, that's where I kind of pulled the brakes. I was wrong. Do you change the cosine squared of x into the formula?
No. What do you do what if that was x squared equals 1 minus x over 2? What would you do? probably multiply by 2.
Oh.
Wait, what are you trying to do right now?
I'm trying to
Oh.
solve for x.
So,
Shelby, tell him again, what just happened?
Oh, multiplied by 2.
Multiply by 2.
Somebody's not here.
Oh, sorry. And those 2's cancel.
Wait, I thought that cosine is that a y or an x?
They're x's.
Okay.
Okay.
Shh, guys, be quiet. Now what would you do?
Subtract 1.
Yeah, if it's x, 2x squared equals 1 minus x, what do you need to have it set equal to? 0. So I'm going to subtract 1 and add cosine of x over. See how everything from this unit keeps coming back.
It makes it
Now what? Factor. Set them equal to 0. And now what do we do? Unit circle. So pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and pi. The new stuff is right here. After that, it's just solving equations. Everybody done? Okay, example 2. Rewrite sine of 5 theta, cosine of 3 theta as a sum or difference. So which one of those are you going to use?
Sine u times
You
cosine
on the
v.
first, second, or third one?
Third one.
The third one, because it's sine is first, then cosine. So it's going to be what? 1/2 sine of 8 theta plus sine of 3 theta.
Oh, so why is it 8 theta?
So what's it tell you to do with the angles?
Oh.
Add them and then subtract them.
How? 5 minus 3 is 3.
What about
Oh,
the,
it's 2, isn't it? Thank you. Making sure you're awake.
are you awake?
No.
You could take a nap.
Questions?
Can we take a nap?
Is that it?
That's it. It just says rewrite it as a sum.
Oh.
So have I rewrote it as a sum?
Yes.
Yes.
Aha.
Okay. So now we have
Yeah.
sum to product formulas. So sine of u plus sine of v equals 2 sine of u plus v divided by 2 times cosine of u minus v divided by 2. Then sine of u minus sine of v is 2 cosine of the sum divided by 2 times the sine of the difference divided by 2.
Isn't that supposed to be an equal sign in between?
Yes, thank you. Then the sum of the cosines is 2 cosine of u plus v divided by 2 times cosine of u minus v divided by 2. Cosine of u minus sine of v, or minus cosine of v. Equals a negative 2 sine of u plus v over 2 sine of u minus v over 2.
What does that say?
Example 3, find exact value of sine of 195 plus sine of 105 degrees. So what do you think we're gonna do? Yeah, we could go and split, neither of these are on the unit circle. So we could go back and use our formulas up here, but that looks like a pain in the butt. That's gonna be really long. So let's see if maybe I could take a sum and I could write it as a product, and then this will be on my unit circle. So we're gonna use the first one, and it's gonna be 2 sine of 195 plus 105 divided by 2 times cosine of 195 minus 105 divided by 2. So this is 1, 2, this is 300 divided by 2, and what is that? 150. And then it's 90 divided by 2 is 45.
Move that up.
Do what?
Move it up.
This way. Now everybody should be able to go from here. From the unit circle, the sine of 150 is what?
Negative square root of 3 over 2. Negative 1/2.
1/2.
Sine, not
And then
cosine.
cosine of 45 square root of 2. Did someone say y is sine of 150 1/2? And you get square root of 2 over 2.
How do you get square root of 2 over 2?
What's 2 times 1/2? 1 and 1 times square root of 2 over 2. Questions there? Anyone not done? Sample 4. Solve sine of 4x minus sine of 2x equals 0. And I want it between, on the interval 0 to 2 pi. So what am I going to do? We have all these formulas. Well, get the sine of 4x. We could possibly try these, but then we're going to get different variables there. So, but what happens if we do our sum, or difference in this case, to product? You take 2 cosine of the 2 added together and divided by 2 times the sine of the 2 subtracted and divided by 2. It looks a lot easier than doing these twice.
That 2x on the end.
Well, what's 4x minus 2x?
That's just what I was.
Yeah. what do I do next?
Use a product to sum formula?
Do what?
Use a product to sum formula?
I'd just be going back there then. So how do I solve this equation? Because when I'm solving equations, if I have a product and it's set equal to 0, what do I know about each of those factors? They're 0. What's my product here? What's being multiplied?
0.
No.
2 cosine 3x.
2 cosine 3x sine of x. Does that 2 affect my answer in any way for it to be 0?
Yes.
Well, it's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. But what do one of these have to be in order for it to be 0? 0.
So you don't worry about the 2?
Let's do the easy one. When does sine of x equal 0?
Pi and 0?
0 and pi. So there's the easy one. So this one, I first need to know when will the cosine of something equal 0?
1, negative 1?
How about pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2? Cosine's the first one. Now that's what y equals. We want to know what 3x equals, right? So 3x equals pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. So what do I do with these two?
Divide them by 3?
Yes, or
Times them by 1/3?
times them by 1/3. So that's going to give us pi over 6 and pi over 2.
I don't understand where you're getting the y from.
Doing a separate problem.
I just cosine of what? My what is 3x, but I just put it 1 for us to see for, cosine of what angle. I just kind of replaced it with y, substitution.
Can I steal your colored pencils?
Need more?
Nope, thanks.
Now, these numbers are fairly small. I want all x's between 0 and 2 pi. So we need to keep going. So if pi over 2 is an answer, 3 pi over 2 is an answer, I rotate another, what's this one going to be?
Wait, where did you say you wanted all
I
the
need,
answers?
yes, all of them. So I need to keep going. I need to keep going around my circle more times. So I
Why
need to
would
just
you
keep
do-
adding 1
Why would you keep going?
because you haven't listed all values between 2 and pi that's going to make this 0.
Can you scroll up the question? I don't remember writing that. You never said we had to have all values.
It says on the interval. That means you need to give me all answers between 0 and 2 pi. So I need to keep adding until I get a number that's bigger than 2 pi. And to go from here to here, I just add 1, right? So I'm just going to keep adding 2 over 2 pi. So that's going to be 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over 2, 9 pi over 2, 11 pi over 2, now I'm going to multiply each one of these by 1/3. So this is what?
And we have to do this whenever it says on the interval?
So this is gonna be 5 pi over 6. This is 7 pi over 6. It's gonna be 9 pi over 6 divided both by 3. That's 3 pi over 2. 11 pi over 6. Have I hit one that's bigger than 2 yet? 2 pi? No, so let's add another 2 pi here. Multiply that by 1/3. We get 13 pi over 6.
You hit one that's bigger than 2.
Yeah, this is bigger than 2 pi, so this one doesn't work. So I don't need that one. So my answers are all of these. Questions?
How is 3 pi 2? When did you get the 3 pi 2 over again? I thought we canceled that one out.
I only cancel the 13 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2 is just 1.5. Cancel the 13
I
pi
know, but
over
where did you get again? I thought when we were dividing it by 3, we canceled out the pi over 2.
this one.
3 pi over, okay. That's what I was looking for.
Got it.
Couldn't you just add 2 pi over 2 on the x?
You'd be adding 2 pi over 6.
Oh, yeah, 2 pi over 6.
You could have. I like to do it up here. It's easier for me to see because I can rotate on my unit circle. Okay, and then example 5. Last one.
How small is it?
Verify that sine of 6x plus sine of 4x over cosine of 6x plus cosine of 4x, that it equals tangent of 5x. So what do you think we'll do here?
Sum the product?
Sum to product. So I have sine of x plus sine of 4x, so that's going to be the top one, which is going to be 2 times sine of the 2 added together and divided by 2, so 5 times 5, 6 plus 4 is 10, divided by 2 is 5, times the cosine of the 2 subtracted and divided by 2. Then the cosine of the sum is going to be 2. Cosine of the 2 added together. Cosine of the 2 subtracted and divided by 2.
You've done
Because
that
I'm
a
used
few
to having a
times.
pi there.
Cosine of x's and the 2's cancel out, and that leaves you with tangent of 5x, right?
Those two cancel. And sine over cosine is what?
Tangent.
Tangent.